And it seems to me for someone who's still relatively inexperienced, he racks them well.
Yeah, he's the type of guy that, you know, he's going to go away and learn about the rack and do everything that he's supposed to do, and he did a good job there because the wing ball went straight in. In order for that wing ball to be flying in, all the balls need to be touching. And this is a nice chance for Skyler. Not really seen much of Skyler, have we? That's what it kind of feels like. Lost his opening match to SVB. Just needs to be careful with his side point here. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, the Woodward journey so far, as you say, lost out to his World Cup partner, Van Boning. He was then beaten by Alexander Kazakis. So 2 starts, 2 defeats, but now on the comeback trail. It started with a win over Mieszko Fortunski last night, 5-1. And already today he's beaten Alusha Shap 5-3. By the way, over on table 2, Omar Al-Shaheen and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz are 4-4, double hill. Well, a really surprising miss, as it was, by the way, on table 2 from Francisco Sanchez Ruiz when he was 4-2 ahead. He missed the 4 ball. As for Woodward, it's the 7 that goes astray.
Extension, please.
David's just asking for an extension. I'm presuming this 7 passes the 9. Maybe it's a little bit tight. Maybe he has to play it off the right-hand side knuckle. Yeah, it went in pretty clean, so that was a job well done. Obviously just steadying himself for the shot. He knows these racks hurt when your opponent's been in and had the first look at the finish. And you come to the table and steal a rack. Especially against the break as well.
That was a blow for Skyler Woodward, a boost for David Alcaide, who spoke to us a little earlier.
We play so many matches, race to 5, alternate break. I don't know how many matches we need to qualify for the next stage, but of course we need to give the best moment, the best level in every match. But race to 5 is sometimes a flip coin. It's a big surprise, no? When I watch the schedule for the year, I say, wow, what is this? We have a lot of tournament this year, no? But it's amazing for us, no? We want to play more if it's mushroom rank tournament. We play in perfect condition, we play in perfect table. Of course, if we play for the TV table, it's much special.
Well, what was rather extraordinary there, I thought the miss from Woodward was entirely unexpected, the way he's been playing. And, you know, even though that was the opening rack call, it can set a pattern.
That's exactly what it can do. You know, it doesn't fill you with confidence. You feel like you've not found your A game yet. Your cueing's gone a little bit missing. And now you feel like you're in a battle of the mind, not just the game. And often when you make a mistake like that, your opponent breaks the next rack, makes a ball, gets rollings, clears the table. So it can be, you know, it can be a lot worse than just that one rack. So let's see what happens here. Does he have a shot? He nearly scratched in the side. No, he doesn't have an easy shot. If he's going to clear the table here, you would think he's going to have to play a bank shot. There you see the cue ball was close to the side. So how much punishment is Skyler Woodward going to get for that mistake? As I said, in order to run this rack, I think he's going to have to play a bank shot. Doesn't look like it cuts in the left centre. That looks way too thin. Could be worth a bank into the top right. It's very attacking. Red 3 ball doesn't look close enough to the pocket to play a billiard. He's decided to play safe. I don't really blame him. No, he hasn't got him hooked. Skyler can play a nice shot here. I think he can just bank the 1 ball off 2 rails back down towards the 9 and use the 5 to hold the cue ball. Sometimes that's not easy to judge the speed of this shot. Yeah, that was the problem. You have to kill the cue ball into the 5. And what he's done there is he's ended up not pushing the cue through hard enough. So by the time the cue ball got to the 1, it was rolling. So that's why it bounced back off the rail. David Alcaide, currently rack number 3. Skyler Woodward, number 19. Skyler Woodward
Extension called.
Was one of the 4 wildcard picks for this year's event. The top 12 on the rankings will always be playing in the Premier League pool. That's going to be a thing of the future. So that's something to aim for, Phil, isn't it? Getting the top 12, you know, you're in the Premier League.
Exactly right. Rankings should bring benefits, rewards. All sports need incentives. For years in snooker, you knew if you're in the top 16, you were going to be seeded to the Crucible. You're going to be in the big invitation event, the Masters. And that's why being in the top 16 has always held such cachet.
100% agree. You need that in all forms of sports at the end of the day. The top boys need rewarding. They're the ones that are travelling around the world, playing in all the events, getting the results on the table. Of course, we have the World Pool Masters. There's going to be some kind of invitation off the rankings with that as well.
Start the clock, please.
Try and get a little bit of inside info on that, I think, won't we, Phil? And bring it to the pool fans watching. Skyler was trying to kick 2 rails there to make the one in the corner, just caught the middle point. So that does give ball in hand up. If you are new to 9-ball pool, any foul results in ball in hand 1 shot. You can put the cue ball where you want and you just get the 1 shot.
We could be about to see a eureka moment on table 2 in a short time. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz has a chance to win his first match in 4 attempts. We'll let you know whether he gets over the line or not. The 2 Spaniards, the 2 very close friends, in action on 2 separate tables.
Yeah, it's a good time for them both, really, because obviously Sanchez is coming to the end of his match, but you can sit in your chair and have a little nosy how your buddy's getting on. Big shot this for Sanchez. It's a long gate. He needs to cue this well. He needs to stay still. You pot the 8. And you're going to be on the 9. That was nicely done. Good pot. That was also a nice shot from David to get on the 7. Sanchez needs this long 9 to win the match. And it's there. It took a little wobble, but he played it at a good pace. Good win there for Sanchez.
Yes, he's no longer pointless. He's played 4 and finally 1-1. Well, this isn't the start that Skyler Woodward hoped for.
Just got to bear down on these 9 balls. Yeah, and there it goes. David Alcaide wins the opening 2 racks in this match.
So I think it might be an important juncture here with Francisco Sanchez Ruiz getting that first point to maybe take a look at the table. Of course, it's 16 players here. They all play each other in the first phase, this opening round robin. So still, we're in the early stages. But you can see that old adage about the cream rising to the top most certainly applies here. Albin Aushin and Joshua Filler, both with 4 wins out of 4. Jason Shaw, also a 100% man with 3 wins out of 3. Same applies to Shane Van Boning. He's only played a couple of matches, but he's scored a couple of victories to be in this position. David Alcaide looking to go into the 3-point category with victory here over Skyler Woodward. Alexander Kazakis completing the top half of that league table. Now a little lower down, you've got Kelly Fisher and Oliver Sholnocki on 2 points. Nothing for them to be worried about. But still, Mieszko Fortunski and Max Lechner on 0. I think the worst thing for Lechner is that he's not involved at all in this session. He has a couple of matches later on today against Kelly Fisher and against Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, which for him, even now, as I said, early stages, but even now, they are vital.
You'd have got some good odds, wouldn't you, Phil, on Mieszko and Max Lechner not to win a match out of 9 between them. That is a phenomenal stat as Skyler gets this 3rd rack underway. He needs a good split and he's got one. Cue ball's close to the 1, but that's fine. He's got an angle, so he can pot this and get position on the pink 4. He's going to have to draw this, I think. Yeah, he's going to have to draw it or just pinch it. He'll either use the side rail over to the left, which means he's got to miss the 8. Cue ball's got to come a little low of the 8, because it looks like he's got quite a big angle there. Or he might just cinch it in and hold. No, he's played the first option, so that's fine. Going to be hampered queuing a little bit though. The 5, the purple 5 and the 8 ball's going to just mean he's got to think about where he puts his bridge hand. He might have to like reach over him. Well, he's putting them through. Put his hand through the middle of them both, did he? Okay. No longer sporting the mullet that he once chose. I think you would suit a mullet, Phil. I'm sure you've had a mullet at some point in your career.
Most definitely not. No, I think he looks sharper now than he did then.
You're trying to tell me you didn't have a mullet about 30 years ago?
No. In my work bag at the moment, I've got my old student card you can have a look at later on.
Right, I'm definitely going to take you up on that. What year is this student card from?
81 or 82.
Right, I'm going to upload that picture on Instagram for everybody. Everybody who wants to see Phil's student picture, follow me on Instagram. It's going to go on there.
It's scary.
Well, he's let the cue ball go on the rail here, so he's going to have to bear down. Good news is the angle after potting the 8 looks to be fine, so just make sure you pot the 8.
Extension, please.
Smart play there, just use the extension. That means the beep or the 10-second warning is not going to affect you.
Yes, Woodward was guilty of errors in the first 2 racks, but not in the 3rd. He gets a foothold. Alcaide's lead trimmed to 2-1. think as the days go on in this tournament, the most interesting matches will be those involving the guys who are doing okay. They're on the bubble, on the borderline of success, but need points. If you've got a match involving someone who's doing particularly badly, or conversely, who's got a boatload of points, then the urgency isn't there. But for these two, it most certainly is.
Yeah, the other thing and all is if you look at the likes of who's at the top of the table at the minute, you know, you've got Albin, you've got Joshua Filler, Jason Shaw. These guys just ooze confidence. And what they're going to start doing is, because they know they've qualified, they're going to just completely relax. They're going to be going for all the shots. And if you're near the bottom and you're going to be playing one of them, you're going to know that, so it's not going to get any easier.
It is never easy playing Albin Auschen, and saddled with that task right now on table 2 is Aloysius Yap. They've just started.
Skyler's faced with a tricky shot here. Not easy to get this safe. Could possibly bank it into the bottom right. It would be going close to the 2-ball, but I think he's just on. Just had a look at that. From the left bottom pocket to that middle diamond where the yellow 1-ball is, if you were to roll the cue ball along that path, you would always scratch in the opposite corner. So that's just a little bit of a guide for you. He's close. I think he's going to be tempted at the look of this. If he misses it, the blue 2 might come to the rescue as a blocker. He's had a go. He's had a go, and he's got it, Phil. What a shot.
When it comes to those banks, he's brilliant. Time and again, he pulls off shots like that.
That was also a nice shot. The amount of times you knock a bank in and then miss the next long ball. He's uncanny. Cued that nice, did Skyler. And now he's, what looks like he's done all the hard work. If you have a look where the brown 7 is, that is the perfect last ball to get on the 9. You just end up playing a little stop shot or just rolling it off the side rail. You'd like a little bit of angle on this, just so you can get a little bit closer to the 7. That would be the perfect way to play the rack. So he's had to cheat it a little bit and spin it through, but this is coming round lovely.
They both have 2 points each, and 2 is the number, because now, in this match, they are tied at 2-2. Skyler Woodward, drawing level. You know, he's got a great accent. We're going to hear that now.
Looking forward to playing this week. I've been practicing for a change, so looking forward to playing all the top players, you know, every match, because there's not one easy match at all. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the pressure in the events probably the most. A lot of times there's not a lot of pressure, I feel like, in a lot of events, but like here I guess it's the setup, and then like some of the events with the fans and all that, there's a lot of pressure either way, but that's probably the most exciting thing to me.
Told you he got that lovely southern accent. Skyler Woodward. It wasn't lovely what happened in the first rack for Albin Auschen. It looked as though he was going to win it on table 2 against Aloysius Yap. But really surprisingly, he missed a straightforward 4-ball, and Yap stepped in.
Different. The score is 2x each. Skyler will do it.
So call all to play for here. Every match on table one so far in this session has been competitive.
Yeah, it's been a good day so far. We've seen some good matches, some good shot making, the odd miss. Now, has he got a shot at this, or has that point just got in the way? If it is slightly in the way, he could put a little bit of spin on it to make the pot. He could even jump over the edge of it, but I think a little bit of left-hand English would be fine. He's having a good look, so it's obviously causing him a few little problems.
This kind of shot is always visually intimidating, and it really is surprising how much that jaw juts out.
Yeah, and what is also helping Skyler is the fact of the 3-ball being on the same side of the table as the 2. You can just focus on making this, because you know you're going to have a shot on the 3. This is a nice table layout, this. Quick glance, the 8-ball is sat nice to get on the 9. These other 5 balls are all at the top end of the table, so it's going to take a monumental mistake for Skyler not to clear this table and take the lead in this match. Now, having said that, you still got to be focused and make sure you don't do anything silly.
He is such an influential player on the US Mosconi Cup team. In recent history, Europe have dominated. But when USA won in 2018 and defended in 2019, Woodward was the most valuable player on both occasions. Played a terrific innings.
It was all about the opening shot where he just put a little swerve to make the 2-ball, and then the rest has took care of itself. Skyler Woodward takes the lead in this match. He leads David Alcaide 3 racks to 2. Over on table number 2 is the current world number 1, the current world champion, Albin Ocean. He's playing Lucius Yap. Lucius Yap, rank number 6, so this is going to be a good match. He's trailing 1 rack to 0, but he's at the table.
Well, the pink 4-ball cost him in the opening rack, but no misjudgment there. In fact, a very good shot. The opening phase of this tournament takes 5 days to complete. If things go well for Albin Ocean today, he could pretty much seal his place in the next phase of the tournament by the conclusion of play. Got to win this match though to do that, and at least he's drawn level 1-1.
Wing ball goes straight in. Lost the cue ball a little bit. That's resulted in no easy pot on this one ball for David. Doesn't have a bank shot on either, so he's going to be playing safe here. He's going to try and bank this one ball down behind the 9 off of 2-3 rails. Leave the cue ball up there, but I think he's going to leave a little gap. Wanted the cue ball on the top rail near the first diamond, kind of where Skyler just put his chalk. That would have hooked Skyler, so will Skyler be tempted into having a go at this pot maybe?
Extension, please.
He's got a really good shot-making mind, is Skyler Woodward. And it's really interesting when he's playing in the Mosconi Cup, or indeed in the World Cup, where they partner and the players are mic'd up and you can hear his thoughts on what he should do. That was not recommended.
No, he won't be happy with that. It was a complete miss-hit. I mean, it's not an easy shot, of course, it's not. I think we should take that on board. This is a big shot he's faced with now. After potting the purple 5, he's got to get back over this side of the table for the green 6. And I think he's going to play 3 rails with a bit of right spin. 10 seconds. Yep, 1, 2. As you can see, the cue ball's going over to the 3rd. He played that with right English, running spin. And he did a good job of that.
Extension, please.
We were talking about this earlier. In these racks, it's a 30-second shot clock with 1 30-second extension. And quite often you see players taking it on this kind of ball, where they know if they knock it in, they should win the rack, and they just want extra time for composure reasons. That was nothing to do with the complexity of the choice. Just wanted to gather his thoughts.
Had to force the cue ball off the top rail then, because I think the natural pot, the cue ball was going to go near the top left pocket. So he played a stun run through.
scratching and winning racks of pool at this level simply don't mix. Woodward scratched, and Alcaide did the rest. Good contest this. It's all tied up at 3-3. It is USA versus Spain, and there's nothing to choose between them. The one advantage Skyler Woodward has is that he's breaking off in rack 7, and should it go all the way, he would also get to break off in the all-important 9th rack. Alternate break does promote tighter matches.
Cue ball got kissed a couple of times then, that's why it's ended up over this top pocket. Now he's going to need a splendid shot here if he's going to pot this 2 and get on the 3. If he pots it into the bottom left, cue ball's not going to really set him up for anything other than a bank. Don't know if he can pot it in the bottom right and hold. This is why he's not even been bothered. It's actually a real nice shot he's played here. Real nice safety shot. That. See the way he also made sure he got a good 2 ball, didn't leave it anywhere in the middle of the table, made sure it found that top rail.
Extension, please.
When all is said and done, when 16 players are whittled down to 10, the 6 who miss out will be thinking about certain contests. And the loser of this might be regretting being beaten in this particular match. You can never drop your guard.
That was a good shot. He was purposely playing for the 8 ball. And he's signalling. He's been a little bit unlucky, but whenever you're crashing into the 2 ball, you never know where that 2 is going to go. So I think he should just be happy he's still at the table. before that jump shot, he would have been delighted to have been in this situation with a chance of playing a good safety. Don't think the bank's on. Plus, if he did bank it in the middle, he's not going to get on the pink four. And another good safety there. You can see, look, where the 3 ball's finished. It's finished up there. So if you don't quite get the hook, you're not selling out and leaving an easy pot.
After a faltering start, it's looking good for Albin Auschen. Again, he lost the opening rack to Aloysius Yap. Missed the 4 ball when everyone expected him to knock it in.
Extension call.
Now, though, Auschen leads 3-1. We'll see Albin Auschen later on. He's got a relatively light schedule today, actually. But he is involved in the evening session on table 1. 4th up against Eklund Kachi.
10 seconds.
Some good safety shots going on here in this match on table 1. Skyler's come with another good shot there. Just protecting that 3 ball. He knew it was very, very unlikely he was going to get a full ball hook. So that was all about the 3 ball, so that was well played. Now David's playing thin off this. Needs to make sure he doesn't catch the 6, which I don't think he will. He's also used the 5 as a holding ball. And it's another good safety shot.
The cue ball always looked useful, but the red 3 just kept travelling.
Yeah, it was a tricky safety shot you were faced with there. Nearly pulled it off. But there you can see David can pot this ball in the side.
10 seconds.
One good positional shot. Like so. It looks like David's going to be the first man to the hill.
Yes, and significantly, if he is, he gets to break in rack 8.
Over on table 2, current world number 1 Albin Auschen is playing Aloysius Yap. Albin's leading that match 3-1. Aloysius Yap not really set the world alight as of yet in the opening 2 days of this event. He would have come into this tournament with high hopes. So he's got to make something happen. Try and climb that leaderboard.
The safety from Woodward didn't quite come off, and David Alcaide had the opportunity, which he accepted with both hands, to hit the front. It is 4-3 to the Spaniard. Not quite so far advanced over on table 2. Auschen 3-1 up on Yap. Yes, he had that golden spelled into Yap late last summer, early autumn, when he came so close to winning the US Open, and then immediately went out and won the Michigan Open.
Yeah, that's right. He's a class act, that's for sure. Of course, he's still massively in this event. Not everyone's going to be winning every match and be at the top of the table. You're going to get the guys who qualify early on and the way up there. And then there's going to be a bit of a story near the end of this Group 1 phase where certain matches they're going to need to win to get that 10th or 9th position. He's kicking 2 rails here, 6 balls kind of in its way. So there's no real, well, look at this. He needs them rolls though. He's trailing 3-1. That's the kind of thing he needs to happen to maybe turn this match around. Things are going good for Albin though. Player of the Year last season. It's an award that's given out by AZ Billiards, and rightly so. He had a really, really good season. US Open, World Nineball champion, sorry. US International Open champion. Championship League winner. Mosconi Cup winner.
Yeah, basically a dream year. Now back to table 1. What about the Alcaide break-off? Well, the 6th ball went in eventually. It came close originally. Went back into the table and was knocked in. Look at this. Round the rim. Then the 5 says, yeah, you better go in there. The only problem is there's no shot on the 1.
Yeah, that break-off's a little bit like Niukio's. Niukio is one of the only players, when he breaks with a bit of spin, a bit of English. And what often happens is the 1 ball goes 2 to 3 rails on the right-hand side of the table where it is now. Unfortunately, David's hooked. So he's going to be playing a push-out. Can't jump them. No value in playing a jump shot whatsoever. So if you're thinking of playing the jump shot, well, just don't. So there's the push.
You know, Cole, we had 5 matches yesterday that went the distance. We've had 2 already today. I think it just emphasises how closely all of these players are in terms of skill and ability, accomplishment. If Woodward can win this rack, it would mean, as I said, 8 matches in this round robin already that's gone to the wire.
Yeah, you always had a feeling there was going to be a lot of matches where it's 4-3. So you're either going to get somebody winning 5-3 or Hill. That was a tidy little shot he was attempting there. Loaded up with right spin, trying to get in behind them 2 balls. David's having a look if there's pots, so he can obviously see enough of the 1 ball. And he's looking if it passes the 9 and the 3. Don't think he does. What he's going to do here, he's going to bank the 1 ball off the bottom rail. Try and get it tucked in behind that red 3. And try and float the cue ball back. He might float it back towards the 8 or back to where it is now. So he's going back to where he is now. Yeah, this is a job well done. Tidy shot there. Good job he didn't hit that ball a little bit harder. He would have scratched. This is a real nice kick shot that you often see on a pool table. Skyler's going to try and go 2 rails, not 1 rail. He wants to hit the long left-hand side rail and come into the 1. That makes it a bigger target. He's got a big chance of making this ball. And, well, he hit that all wrong. And he's sold out. He was trying to hit that long second rail. Actually nearly ended up hitting the 3 ball, so he was way off there. And the good safety from Alcaide has given him his chance. Whenever you're playing in a pool match, this is a bit like, it's a bit like the game of darts, this, Phil. Come to the dart board, you've got 3 darts in your hand. You're on the double for the title. It's in your own hands. This is where David finds himself. All the balls are open. He's at the table. Pot these 6 balls, and you've won another point. Speed is perfect there. Not looking good for Woodward.
It's looking a little better for Aloysius Yap. He has taken the 5th rack from Albin Auschen. Trails 3-2. The story of the rack, basically, Auschen was hooked on the 1 ball, didn't escape, hit the 6, for good measure went in off, and of course with ball in hand. And the remaining balls on the table all in the open. It was quite a simple task for Yap to salvage the rack. In every tournament he plays in, you get the same vibe with David Alcaide. He's pretty much always there or thereabouts. And in terms of this round robin table, exactly the same applies.